Okay, picture this. You just stepped off a loud, super busy city street, and you walk right into this incredibly quiet, intimate, modern digital art gallery. You know the vibe, right? Low lighting, stark white walls, and the exhibits just kind of pulse with this undeniable energy. Well, today, that's exactly the kind of space we're exploring. It's brought to life by this really fascinating digital channel called Procurando Cérebro, which translated from Portuguese means searching for brain. And look, this isn't your typical algorithm-chasing content feed. No, this is a meticulously curated multimedia art project. It literally uses the digital medium as a blank canvas to explore psychology. I am so pumped to be your guide through these digital halls today.
So let's dive right into this. How on earth do we actually document the complexities of the human mind? I mean, it's a massive, almost impossible task, isn't it? The mind isn't just some physical thing you can stick under a microscope and decode with pure data. It's chaotic, it's wildly emotional, it's packed with contradictions and all these hidden little rooms. Traditional science gives us the biology, sure, but art gives us the actual experience. And honestly, that seems to be the exact void this project is trying to fill. It's attempting to catalog those abstract, totally intangible feelings of, well, just being human.
If you look closely at the creator's mission statement here, every single word feels so deliberate. They describe it as a project exploring the, quote, incessant search for understanding the human mind, its complexities and mysteries. Did you catch that word? Incessant? That tells us right off the bat that this isn't a puzzle they're trying to solve. It's a journey, and there is absolutely no final destination. It really gives off the vibe that the artist knows the mind is a total mystery, and this whole project is just a dedicated, ongoing effort to look a little closer at the chaos. They aren't trying to hand us answers, they're offering us reflections.
Now, 36. In the massive, sprawling landscape of the internet where creators are constantly bragging about having millions of subscribers, 36 is, well, it's a tiny number. But think about it in the context of our art gallery metaphor. A room with 36 dedicated people all looking closely at a piece of art. That's a deeply intimate, profound experience. Having such a small audience really frames this explainer as discovering a hidden gem. It's like this exclusive, completely undiscovered space tucked away in a quiet corner of the web. It's a great reminder that profound meaning absolutely does not require mass appeal. We are stepping into a very, very private exhibition here.
But wait, that tiny audience sits in stark contrast to this number, 55. That's 55 total videos uploaded by this creator. When you put an audience of 36 right next to a catalog of 55 totally distinct pieces of art, a really powerful narrative starts to take shape. It tells us pretty clearly that this creator is definitely not chasing viral fame. They're driven by this deep, intrinsic need to just create. That incessant search they mentioned? Yeah, it's real. They keep showing up to the canvas, documenting the mind, completely regardless of who's actually watching.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the architecture of the specific exhibits we're going to analyze today. Out of those 55 pieces, we're taking a closer look at 4. Achadas, Zoid 38.420.573, Curasa, and Quemando Neuronios. Just glancing at this lineup, the titles, the super brief runtimes ranging from under a minute to just under 2 minutes, and their ages, you start to see the shape of the whole project. These are definitely not long, drawn-out essays. They are fleeting glimpses, like little short bursts of neural activity captured on video. Okay, let's walk over to our first exhibit.
First up, we have Achados, clocking in at just 58 seconds.
So, achados translates from Portuguese to findings or discoveries. Think about what a finding actually feels like in your own mind. It's that sudden spark of clarity, right? Or an unexpected memory that just pops up out of nowhere, or a sudden realization about yourself. And in real life, those moments rarely last long. They're literal flashes of insight. By keeping this piece to exactly 58 seconds, it feels like the artist is mimicking the transient nature of a mental discovery. It's a super brief, uplifting moment of uncovering something hidden, and it only asks for a tiny sliver of your attention to deliver its message.
Let's move on and see how this builds. Our next exhibit is Curasa, which is a mere 42 seconds long. So what kind of psychological event happens in under a minute? The translation gives us a really beautiful clue here. Curasha means armor or defensive breastplate. Psychologically speaking, this is all about the walls we build. When we feel threatened or exposed, our mental defenses do not take their time, do they? Nope, they slam down instantly. That emotional armor goes up in the absolute blink of an eye.
It really makes you wonder if that 42-second runtime is a deliberate mirror of how fast and decisively we build our psychological walls. It's a rapid, totally defensive reflex, perfectly captured in a micro-short film.
Next up, we're transitioning to the most viewed piece in our sample today, Quemando Neurones, running at 1 minute and 34 seconds. Now notice how the time we sit with the feeling expands as the subject matter gets heavier. Quemando Neurones literally translates to burning neurons. We're talking mental exhaustion, complete burnout, and that painful, endless loop of overthinking. While a spark of discovery or a defensive reflex happens in a flash, mental exhaustion is a whole process. It drags. It completely drains you. That extended 1 minute and 34-second duration literally forces us to sit in that heavy, sluggish reality just a bit longer. It pulls you in, kind of demanding that you relate to the prolonged, heavy feeling of an overworked mind. And this brilliantly illustrates the sheer spectrum of the human condition they're exploring here. On one hand, we have achados, that uplifting, positive, expansive feeling of discovering something new. And on the exact opposite side, Quemando Neurones, the draining, soul-sucking act of overexertion and shutting down. Putting these two side by side shows us the creator's true ambition. They aren't just cherry-picking the beautiful parts of the mind, and they aren't just wallowing in the dark stuff either. They're actually mapping out the entire swinging pendulum of our mental states. Which brings us to our final, longest, and honestly most cryptic exhibit, Zoid 38420.573, coming in at 1 minute and 55 seconds. Okay, so while the other titles were recognizable words attached to feelings we all know, this one just throws us straight into the abstract. 38,420,573. It is so clinical. It's hyper-specific. In a project dedicated to the mysteries of the mind, a number this massive feels like it's representing the sheer chaotic vastness of our psyche. Just think about it, the millions of synapses firing right now, the millions of fleeting thoughts we have over a lifetime, or just the mind-boggling amount of data our brains process every single day. This numerical title strips away all the poetry and just forces us to confront the staggering, almost mechanical reality of our own biology. But, hey, this exploration isn't just confined to video clips. The source material actually points to a much wider multimedia footprint, including a direct link to a Spotify platform, plus a couple of other external links. This takes the whole project from a simple channel to a truly multi-sensory experience. It strongly suggests the artist is using auditory landscapes and probably other mediums to completely surround the audience. I mean, if the human mind processes the world through multiple senses, it makes total sense that an art project about the mind would take a multi-platform, multi-sensory approach, right?
So the crucial point here really circles all the way back to that one phrase, the incessant search. Whether it's through those fleeting 42-second bursts of emotional armor, the slow drag of burning neurons, or the chaotic millions of thoughts packed into a single sprawling number, the exploration is just relentless. We started this explainer talking about walking into an intimate gallery, but you know what? What we've really done is step into a mirror. This search for understanding isn't just about one creator's mind. By putting it all on display, it kind of forces us to examine our own.
Which leaves us with this final lingering thought. We've seen how this project documents our discoveries, our emotional armor, and our utter exhaustion. We've walked through the beautiful, chaotic gallery of searching for brain. But as you step out of this digital gallery today and head back into your normal routine, I want you to turn that lens inward. When you strip away all the noise and the distractions, and you truly examine your own complexities and mysteries, what will you find when you search your own brain? Thank you so much for exploring with me today. Keep asking those big questions, and whatever you do, never stop learning.